this is one of the problems that you had. And it says factor by grouping, sometimes called the AC method. Okay? That's what we did last year with the asterisk method or the Xbox method. So this right here is just choosing your sign. Okay, so the AC method, you're going to, so I've rewrote it down here. Okay, this is what it's asking you. Okay, so the quadratic equation, standard form, is ax squared plus bx plus c. So the AC method is taking the a value and the c value and multiplying it. So in this case, your a value is 14 and your c value is negative 4. So 14 times negative 4 is negative 56. Because there's a negative there, that means that your factors, one has to be positive and one has to be negative. Okay, so automatically in this box, you know it's not this one that's double positive. It's not, they don't have a double negative one, but it's not this one. Can't be double positive. Oh, they do. It's not this one that's double negative. So it has to be either this one or this one. So let's figure out what our factors are of negative 56. So we've got 1 and 56, 2 and 28, 56 divided by 3, and no, 4, and 14, because that was what we used to multiply this. And then 6 doesn't work, or 5 doesn't work, 6 doesn't work, 7 and 8. Okay? So last year, remember how we figured out things that multiply together to give me 56, but then they need to add together to give me the b, and the b in this case is 1. So we're looking for them to add together now to be positive 1. Well, remember, one of them's negative, so that means because the b is positive, the bigger number here would be your positive number, which means all of these, in order to get a positive middle number, would be your possible negative numbers. So if you look right here, okay, negative 1 plus 56 is not going to be 1. Negative 2 plus 28, not going to be 1. Negative 4 plus 14, not going to be 1. But negative 7 plus 8, that equals 1. So now my grouping is, my a term stays the same, 4x squared, okay? And then I've got a negative and a positive, so negative 7x plus 8x minus 4. Okay? I put my 7 here because I need these two first to group and have a greatest common factor. If I had put my positive 8 here, they would have a greatest common factor of 2, which would be fine. Okay? But over here, if I put the 7, then the greatest common factor is 1. Sometimes that does happen, but if we can have better greatest common factors, we want that. So negative 7 plus 8x. So these are going to be grouped together, okay, and these are grouped together. So then when you factor, this factors out to be, well, 14 and negative 7 both have a 7 that can come out, and x squared and x both have an x that can come out. So we've got 7x that we can factor out. So then when we divide here, we've got 14 divided by 7 is 2, and x squared divided by x is x. And then negative 7x divided by 7x is negative 1. So that's fine. Then we get over here, we got to look at this separately. So 8x minus 4, that is 2. They both have a 2, a positive 2, so I'm going to slide in here. This desk is the worst one. I'm trying to have room to show you stuff, okay? So it's a positive 2 that I factored out. So when I divide everything by 2, 8 divided by 2 is 4. I still have an x on it. And negative 4 divided by, oh, actually, the greatest common factor is not 2. The greatest common factor is actually 4. So 8 and 4, the greatest common factor is 4. So factor out the 4. That leaves me 2x. And negative 4 divided by 4 is negative 1. So if you've grouped it correctly, what you have left in the parentheses with both of these should be exactly the same. And that's one factor. So when you write it in your answer box up here, okay, the factorization right here should be 7x, okay, that's the number out front here, plus 4 in parentheses, and the other parentheses is going to be 2x minus 1. Okay. So, and you can group them either way, honestly. you can group it either way. Okay? Your final answer should still be the same. 2x minus 1 and 7x plus 4, or vice versa, like I wrote it, 7x plus 4 times 2x minus 1. Doesn't matter as long as you have the same information in each set of parentheses. Okay? I personally, instead of showing it through the grouping like this, okay, I still do all of this work. Okay, I still do all of this work right here. Okay, but I use the box method to do my grouping. Okay, so I know that my first term always goes in this box, so that's 14x squared. My last term, negative 4, always goes in this box. I've already figured out what my two factors have to be. So one is a negative 7x, and one is a positive 8x. So all of that other work is the same until we get to writing it out, and I like to do it this way. So I also know that this has to be an x, and this has to be an x, because that's how my box method works, right? So that would make sense to get my x squared. So what's my greatest common factor between negative 7 and 14? Well, that's 7. So I still get my 7 there. So what times 7x is going to give me 14x squared? Well, that's a 2. So 2x times 7x gives me 14x squared. That's right. So now 2x times what gives me 8x? Well, that's 4. Right? Then 4 times what gives me negative 4? That's negative 1. So if I did that right, then I can check. Negative 1 times 7x gives me negative 7x. So that works. So here's my two factors. 2x minus 1 and 7x plus 4, which is the same answer that I just got previously. I just organized it differently when I was trying to figure it out. Okay? I hope that helps, Ernesto.